Special Olympics, Ukraine.
You hear that crowd, a rousing applause for the delegation from Ukraine. They have faced countless challenges.
The war in Ukraine has begun.
A full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine.
І цей звук, вікна чуть-чуть не дьоргнулися. І мама, мене руки трусяться, ноги трусяться, я вже не знаю, що робити, і я тікала.
The Ukrainians pushing back the Russians.
Even if the counteroffensive succeeds, significant losses for Ukraine are expected.
There is no place for war in our world.
Я живу, Степан, щоб подержав за Україну.
These are days of war in Ukraine, a war for the nation's right to exist, which makes every act of patriotism, even simple things like surviving long enough to compete in a sport, an act of beautiful defiance.
Я українка, я гордая, їду бери. Это полевых партий, это за нами партий. Когда начинается тревога, гудит, самолеты летают, я бегом сразу в коридор, сажусь, сижу и жду, когда война закончится.
Деякі діти лякаються і навіть бояться з дому виходити. Але у нас діти дуже завзяті в тренуванні.
For the last 16 months, this is reality for millions of Ukrainians. Explosions, blackouts, long, uncertain nights. So the athletes of Special Olympics Ukraine train in a war zone, or they don't train at all. Right now, the most dangerous weapon in Ukraine is hope. To stand up and say, "See, we are alive." That's why these athletes are competing in Berlin.
Я їду на спінсяду на Олімпіаду для виграти золоту медаль для України.
For those on the bus, their dream is now so close they can almost touch it.
With everything they've been through, to come here and have a smile on their face and cheer on their teammates and be here with the rest of the world, it's very important, and we're so happy they could be here with us today.
Профессия, потому что я очень люблю заниматься спортом. Это моя была профессия, я спортсмен. Это хорошая профессия.
І я пам'ятаю Україні, я пам'ятаю мамі.
Katerina Kudryavetsy felt the pain of defeat and the redemption of victory too. Winning gold in the 400 meter and silver in the 800 meter.
Нормально. Всем.
Vadim Karashenko got his twin autistic sons, both elite swimmers, out of Ukraine when the war started.
I think it's a first so huge competition for him. For sure, he wants to make his best. It's a big moment for all our family.
Karashenko pulling away to the wall for Ukraine, and he's done it.
Andriy carried his father's lucky flag everywhere and won gold in the 50-meter freestyle and bronze in the 50-meter breaststroke.
And doing it for Ukraine, can you imagine the hardship he has had over the last year?
When I send this message to my family, to my wife, to all of who waiting for this result, they are jumping, and it's so great for us.
Yelsaveta Ilyankoy is a 12th grader who only recently started competing. She's risen quickly. The team sports resonated perhaps most of all back home. A group of people engaged in collective suffering and victory speaks to the moment, and the unified basketball team won silver.
To be here, it's a big deal for our team because we are Ukrainian and we show to the whole world that Ukrainian people are united.
Dmytro Podorsky was born just a few years after Ukraine's independence. Raised by his grandmother, he's never lived in a country that wasn't free.
Ukrainian athletes so well received here in Berlin. What they are going through right now in their country and their families, they need all the love and support all of us here in Berlin can offer.
Valentin Novosad's family threw him a party before he left for Berlin. And 2 weeks later, he got to call them with the rarest thing in Ukraine: good news. They all follow the war on their phones. The stories from the front are raw, a relic from some ancient world. And the inches gained in the East are measured in Ukrainian blood and lives. Things will get worse before they get better. But a bruised and battered home is better than no home at all. That's the lesson taught by the war and relearned again here in Berlin. These athletes are ready to go back now. Their bags heavy with medals and memories, to see anew the place they compete to save.